Hi, it's Krista. I thought it would be helpful for you to hear a little bit of my origin story about muscle testing, how I got started in muscle testing. And so, what happened? This all happened with my second child, my daughter. We had recently moved from Connecticut to be out of Lyme land because we were a Lyme family, are a Lyme family, I would say. And we moved to Portland, Oregon. So I was new. We were all new. New neighborhood. We didn't know anyone. I did not know anyone. And I was just getting set up in meeting with healthcare practitioners and getting my daughter set up. And I was very thankful because our renowned chronic Lyme disease doctor who was in New York was still seeing us. And this was back in the day where remote sessions or remote, phone calls and these kinds of things were just mostly unheard of. This is before everything, before the pandemic and whatnot. This was like 2008, 2009. So here I am with my daughter who was mostly stable at the time. And then just the move kind of just shuffled everything up, got everything kind of activated, I think, with all of us. And so I started to notice that she started to really react to everything that I was giving her. Her turkey sandwich, her food that she's been eating her whole life, a bagel, gluten-free, of course, just anything. And it was just, it was random. It wasn't consistent. And so I was just dismayed, and I was by myself, a bit isolated, couldn't really talk to anybody really about it because they didn't understand really what we were doing, what Lyme was even. And so I had this defining moment. I knew what muscle testing was, and I knew what intuitive testing was, and I was kind of playing around with it a little bit. I would go to healthcare practitioners back east to do this work. And so I just was standing in my kitchen, and my daughter was really sick yet again. Another day at home from school, and I just got this new protocol in the mail, and I knew it was the right thing. I was holding on to this medication, and I knew it was the right thing for her. I could feel it, but I also felt that there was something off about it, that it was perhaps too strong. And I looked at the instructions that our doctor sent us, told us to do it, and it just didn't seem right. And I was trying to figure out like how much to give her, what to do. Should I not give it to her? It's going to cause this giant flare that was so scary. And so I started practicing this muscle testing, and I started out with asking questions that I knew the answer to. So such as, my name is Krista versus my name is Andy, or the sky is blue, or the sky is dark, or here in Portland, it's rainy or it's sunny. And so I started practicing doing this muscle testing, just doing the O-ring method with my hand, using muscle tension strength as a way to communicate with my body, as well as intuitive testing. And this workshop that I'm going to be doing in June, I hope you can make it. I'm doing a remote and in person. I will teach you these methods. So anyway, I started practicing this until I had the guts to try this on my daughter. And what it was is that I started doing this muscle testing and intuitive testing from the source of love for my daughter, instead of from fear. Like, oh no, she's getting worse. And yes, oh no, she's getting worse, but oh no, she's getting worse. And I'm here, I surrender to myself, to my higher self, to my inner knowing, to figure this out and what to do. Because I was in this predicament, right? I had these things. I had this amazing doctor with these amazing protocols. I had all this reading and research. I'm like a researcher person by nature. I love a spreadsheet. I love a deep dive into figuring stuff out and knowing all of the, etiology behind something. I love all that. Watching videos, it's all me. But I knew that wasn't helping us right now. I had gotten to a plateau. I just didn't know what to do. I just didn't. But I knew that I could help her. Like, I looked around me, there was nobody around, and even the doctors that were far away now, like, I just knew they couldn't help me. We had gotten to a point where I needed to take the matter into my own hands and to be my own driver of this, because I knew I could see my daughter. I knew I could see the dark circles under her eyes. I knew like where she was at and like what would happen and so on. So long story short, I began muscle testing and I started to tinker with the protocol. So instead of it saying, the doctors and the standard template, which we love, again, this is not to bash anybody or to judge anyone or any doctor. Like, they're all amazing, right? Like, we're so glad that we have our doctors. But I took the template, the standard template, or what they prescribed, and then I was able to tinker with it. And so for my daughter, who was very sensitive, it was like, oh, instead of 2 times a day, how about 1 time a day, and half a pill instead of 1 full pill. And then I would get a yes, a big yes. And everything would be yes, it's the right medication, this is the right dosage, yes, instead of yes and no, and then you get a mixed response, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do with that? So it was really, really amazing, and it was a game changer. And then I just started to get confidence, because I would then give it to her and go, okay, watch and wait. And I didn't have anything to lose. She was already home from school. She was already getting worse. I had to start trying stuff, right? And then she was getting better. And I was like, oh my God, right? And then the best part is to tell your healthcare practitioner what you did, and then for them to be like nervous or to judge you. But that's a whole other story, right? But it just added fuel to my fire, and it was very empowering. And so I want you to feel that as well. And I know that you can be your own best healer and your own best guide and your own best doctor by learning how to talk to yourself. And you don't need me to do this, but I do have a structure, and I can teach you these 2 methods to do that if you're somebody who likes that. And that's the way I am. Like, I would have loved to take the class, this workshop that I am gonna be doing in June, because that would have just saved me a lot of like anxiety and heartache and stuff like that, and sleepless nights trying to figure it out. So I'm just so thankful for the people in Connecticut, back east, New York, that showed me and modeled me confidence and courage and bravery, and showed me how they did muscle testing. And then I just didn't trust myself, so I didn't do it. I was like, oh God, I could never do that, until I came to this defining moment where the love for my daughter overcame and caused me to surrender to myself and to look outside of the box and say, maybe there's something to this energy thing. And then it really just cemented in this fact that we all are energetic beings, that everything is energy, and that we're in this human body, that we can shift and change and heal and expand and grow by talking to it and listening to our body, to our emotional body, our minds, and our soul, our spiritual body. So I hope you found this helpful. I love muscle testing so much, and what's great about muscle testing is it's a fast method. You can do it on the fly. You can do it in the car. You can do it at the grocery store. And you can do the intuitive testing, model of just, of tuning in. And I'll show you how to do that with connecting to all of your senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and then using those to guide you. And working with your brain. Your brain is not your enemy. And so it's about connecting with your mind and connecting with analytical mind and all this beautiful research that your mind is sharing with you and analyzing and keeping for you in the database of experience and wisdom. So you're using that, and also your heart, your true self, your soul, that knows, that is the true navigator of your life and that life force energy. So I hope you found that helpful, and I hope to see you there. And there's more information on my website, and it's KristaRosen.com.